On today's episode, my 3 best and worst videos on this channel. Alright, in honor of 2,000 subscribers, which is awesome, I figured I would go through a list of the 3 best videos on my channel and the 3 to avoid. Let's get started with the best. In number 3, 5 shady ways restaurants treat staff.
Paying for walkouts. I just don't understand places that do this, making their staff pay for somebody else who's an asshole.
This video goes through a bunch of common practices that restaurants will do to their staff, so much so that it's pretty normalized. So the video is a heads up that says, hey, if you're working at a restaurant that's doing these things, it might not be a great restaurant. Number 2, 7 strategies to help restaurant managers gain work-life balance. That is a ridiculously long title, but it's a good examination of some steps that you can take in order to create boundaries that will allow you to have balance in your life as a restaurant manager.
Prioritize extracurricular activities, whether it's church, date night, going to weekly karate classes with your kids, whatever it is. Pick certain things that you 100% will not miss. Communicate effectively to your boss that these are times that you are not available. Not in the venue, not on the phone, not at all. Pick extracurricular activities, even if it's a weekly trip to the movies, that you don't budge on.
And the number 1 video to start with on my channel is 8 interview red flags.
Lying about termination. It happens. You get fired. I've had it happen before. There is an unnecessary stigma around termination. Be open to those that are forthright about their challenges and they're not attempting to cover them up. You should actually be impressed with their honesty.
This one's straight from my book, The Surprise Restaurant Manager. And even on this trip, I cannot tell you the number of times that people broke the 8 rules. I sat in interviews this week with people who bashed their previous employers, people who showed up without resumes, people who didn't do their homework and understand where they were applying. And out of the 5 interviews that I did, 3 of them showed up late. This was a great video if you're interviewing people or if you're going out on interviews. All right, now the part that you probably want to see more, my 3 worst videos. These are the ones to avoid, especially if you're new to the channel. The 3rd worst video is read my book for free.
So, I walk over, take my photo with Phil. Phil, I have this book that I wrote that I really want everyone to read. I'm not motivated by profit. I truly think that this would help the restaurant industry. Do you have any advice on how to get this into the hands of as many restaurants as possible? He just looked at me and said, I have no idea. Fair.
I feel a little like a sycophant with Phil Rosenthal. And more importantly, the fact that very few people take me up on sending them a free copy of the book via a PDF shows that people think it's a scam. They probably think, oh, when I email him, I'm going to go on some list, and then he's going to market to me, and it's a whole scam. It's not, and at this point, you can still email me at info@corriganhospitality.com, and I will send you a free PDF of the book. The number 2 worst video is don't push the fish.
Let's dive into service, real service, for a few minutes. Next time you're out at a restaurant, ask your server how much on the menu that they've actually eaten. Let me guess, the manager says that it's a problem for food cost. The bigger cost is what's not being talked about at the table by your server because they don't know it. And you can't do that if they're not continually trying it and tasting it and falling back in love with it over and over again. So if you want to be genuine, don't tell people in pre-shift what to push.
But I called it Don't Push the Fish, which is a terrible, terrible name. I'm also not a big fan of the thumbnail either. This is one of my early videos, didn't go anywhere, not well presented. And again, the name just sucks. And finally, the number 1 worst video to start with by far, don't be an Axl. It had to do with a time where Axl Rose could have stepped up when the opening band caught on fire, but chose to be an asshole about it.
You could be an Axl. Between the time that Metallica had to leave and Guns N' Roses took the stage, it was about 2 hours. Then they complained about the monitors, played 9 songs, and left. 2,000 people rioted.
So, don't be an Axl is saying don't be an asshole. Ha ha, funny. And yes, I use it in a restaurant setting sometimes with people who, I don't know, still know who Axl Rose is. But that being said, it just came off as just dorky, and it really wasn't focused on what it was to be in the restaurant world. Not to say I won't focus on more general things at times, but this one just missed the mark. If you're new to the channel, you can definitely pass on this one. All right, that's it. The 3 best and the 3 worst videos on my channel. As always, I gotta push the Surprise Restaurant Manager, available online at great bookstores or on Audible if you want to hear me talk for 5 hours. I'm on the road with a client for the next few weeks, and I'll be putting out a video about how much it's kicking my ass. All right, that's enough shilling. I appreciate you tuning in, and again, thank you for 2,000 subscribers. Really, really cool. Y'all take care. That's great. Let's see if I just sneeze all over myself. Let's see.